This event is brought to you by the Hawaii International Polo Association, Hawaii Polo Life Magazine, the Howard Hughes Ward Village, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, and Kaiser Permanente. Nestled at the base of the beautiful Ko'olau mountain range on the windward side of Oahu, welcome to the Honolulu Polo Club in beautiful Waimanalo for our presentation of the Hawaii Polo Life 2015 Polo Soireē. How you doing, everyone? I'm Mr. Shimoka, joined with my broadcast partner, Soireē Atchison. And Soireē, I got to tell you, you are an accomplished horseman and polo player. How much would you rather be playing out there today than sitting next to me?
Well, it is a pleasure to sit next to you.
Thank you.
This is such a wonderful game, and of course, any polo player in their right mind would. To have this kind of polo here in Hawaii, it's really a pleasure, and so we're excited to see this match here.
Soireē, we have certainly taken it up a notch because we have some outstanding major international and national talent that made their way through Mainland One Beyond to join us with us. We're talking about the #1 player in the country in Nick Roldan. As you can see, he is an 8-goal scorer. He was a player of the year at the tender age of 15 years old. 15, he went on to win the United States Open. So where do you go from there? It's only uphill from there. Anyway, also joining Nick on the other side of the ledger is a guy who many polo players are familiar with him from years on past. He was born in Argentina and now makes his home in the West Palm Beach area. Juan Bolini, a 6-goal scorer at one time, and for 15 years that he was a 8-goal scorer. He's an accomplished polo player. He's played all over the world, and he is excited to bring polo here to Waimanalo.
And we are expecting nothing short of a fun, amazing, well-played game. The horses are top-notch. The players are top-notch. We have a nice mix of local players as well as international players. And really, it's a very special, special day for us here in Hawaii.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the players here. For the Porsche team that will be in black, playing in the #1 position is Melissa Ganzi from Wellington, Florida. Then #2 will be Chris Dawson. He's a very familiar name here in Hawaii Polo Circuit. Also, #3 will be Herman DeCoit. Herman is from the island of Maui and the Maui Polo Club. And, of course, we talked about Juan Bolini, the Argentine player, in the #4 slot. Starting for Mercedes-Benz, they will be in the white jerseys. In the #1 position is Tiari Patey. She is from Waialua on the North Shore, a 1-goal scorer. In the #2 jersey, Mark Becker, also from the North Shore, more specifically Pupukea, if you're familiar with the North Shore area. Mark is a player who has played all over this island and other points and beyond. Julian Alvarez, a guy who is originally from Argentina, but now makes his home in Hawaii, and I don't know why not. He's an avid surfer, and he just loves to surf and then go play polo. He's wearing the #3 jersey, and then we talked about the 8-goaler, the top U.S. player in the country, #4, Nick Roldan. Some of our pregame festivities going on as our national anthem is being played, and let's listen in.
Ruben's wondering if camera 2 looks good.
All right. Well, look at the crowd out there. Now, some people
Miss Tori Williams
may or may not know the
wants me to
rules of
apologize
polo.
for the slight
Pretty much there's 4 people on each team. You have
And
4
keeping up
periods
with
of play called
this great
chukkers.
state
A
of
chukker is
Hawaii,
like a
our
quarter in basketball.
traditions
It's
to sing
7.5
Hawaii,
minutes.
Pono'i,
Each
the
time
lovely
the
Awana
players get off the
Salazar.
field, they switch horses. 1 point for each goal scored. Hooking the mallets is part of a defensive play. And basically, the whole premise of polo is based around this line of the ball. The line of the ball, every time the ball is hit, it draws an imaginary line like the double yellow line on the road. In reality, there's one road. However, the double yellow line allows traffic to go different directions. And so when you're on the polo field, you want to make sure that when you hit the ball, the rule is you have to first get on the line of the ball, then you are allowed to approach the ball. So very important. That's how we figure out fouls and everything. And so today we'll probably be seeing some out there.
Just a beautiful day here in Waimanalo. Good crowd on hand. It was an invitation-only event, and it's a fundraiser for the Hawaii International Polo Association. That is a nonprofit organization here for the betterment and the education and the perpetuation of polo here in the islands. Giving a really, really nice look on it was sunny earlier, but it's a little overcast a day here on the Waimanalo side of Oahu. It's one of 2 playing venues that we have here on this particular island. The other one being out on the North Shore in Mokuleia, and that is the Hawaii International Polo Club. So the public address announcer going through the starting lineups. You already have them because we gave them to you. As we said, white will be worn by the Mercedes-Benz team, and they've just introduced Nick Roldan. And for the black-wearing Porsche team, they are taking their celebratory ride here as the introduction. That's Chris Dawson right there. And then wearing number 3, as we mentioned, he's called the Hurricane. He is our Hawaii Paniolo, Herman DeCoit. 63 years young and still playing polo.
I tell you what, he is a young soul, he's a young man, and he's going to play polo until he can't anymore. Same with most of these players out here. Polo is certainly a passion. I'm sure if you're watching this broadcast, you're passionate about polo too. And really, this is a very special day to have all this mix of local players, international players. And there's Tiari. She's one of our local players. She's a very good horsewoman, horse trainer, and a talented on the field as well as off. Mark Becker, who owns a trail ride company in Pupukea, Happy Trails, Hawaii. Beautiful place to take a trail ride. You get the excellent view of the mountains over Waimea. Julian Alvarez from Santa Fe, Argentina, came to Hawaii about 10 years ago, maybe more. I've known him for a long time. He's also an excellent player. And
Nick Roldan.
Nick Roldan, of course, he's a celebrity in his own right. He's very well known. Very handsome young guy, and
well, they call him the Hot Polo Prince.
Oh,
that's his nickname. That in all the I guess the society pages in West Palm Beach and in New York City.
Well, I'm sure he lives up to his reputation.
Fine player. He was spent 45 days, I believe, when he was born in Argentina. His father and mother had already, well, not his mother, but his father was already playing polo in West Palm Beach. The mother had him in Argentina, and 45 days later, he moved over there to the Palm Beach area. Grew up there, considered himself not Argentina, but an American citizen, and rightfully so.
Well, now we have what's called the bowl-in. So the bowl-in is the most important part. It's a very important part of polo. It's basically the scrum. So when the ball gets bowled in, the first person to hit that ball, like I said, I was talking about the line of the ball earlier, hits the ball and draws the first line of the ball. Now, no matter how big or small that line is, you must not cross it. They'll call a foul on you.
So Team Porsche in the black jerseys will be going left to right on your screen. Mercedes-Benz going the opposite way. There's the bowl in, and the first play is underway as players try to stuff the ball. And it looks like it is Mercedes-Benz on the attack very early. And a big shot by Nick Roldan sends it down, all the way down for Alvarez. Alvarez pushes it through. Can he get it in line? And he does, and it's a score.
Very nice score.
No, actually, it was a little wide right as the goal judge waved that off. I thought he did get it in between the post being 8 yards wide, but he just pushed it a little bit to the right side, and it'll be a knock-in for Team Porsche.
Very nice drive down the field for Melissa Gonzi. Melissa coming up. Now, she's going to send it down. Not quite the shot she wanted. And Tiari is going to come around and pick it up, reverse the direction of the play, and perhaps send it up. Here she is going head-to-head with Hawaiian Hurricane. That's Herman DeCoit, who's going to back that ball, and that was a foul. So, as you can see, or not see, depending on where you are, what happened was Tiari had possession of the ball. Herman bumped her off of the line. The line is what I was talking about. He bumped her.
So here's a replay of the goal attempt by Alvarez, and from my position, looked like he got it in there, but it's just a little too late, and he just couldn't get the mallet in and put it in between the posts. Back to live action now, as it is Porsche on the attack now.
And Melissa Gonzi taking it down the field. Melissa claiming her line.
And a strike at the goal, and it's a little to the left. And it'll be a knock-in for Team Mercedes-Benz.
So here we are, again, the line of the ball, the most important part of the game. And it looks like Nick is sending that ball way downfield for his teammate.
Nick playing that number 4 position, and rightfully so. He's a big-time hitter. And he's looked for, usually number 4 is like a defensive
across the Malkus sideboards.
He wants that
Heavy contact between horses, you can see.
To get a good run on it.
That's right. Number 4 and number 3 tend to be the most heavy hitting and the best players on the team. The positions for 1 and 2 are basically your playmakers to goal. So number 1 is the one who's going to make that goal. Tiari Patey goes for the shot. She makes it.
And it's a goal.
It's a beautiful shot by Tiari Patey.
Nice shot by Tiari Patey to give Mercedes-Benz a 1-0 lead here in Chukker number 1. Tiari Patey been playing now for about 15 years. She's a 1-goal scorer. Let's take a look at the replay as she got a really good pass from Roldan. And she knocked it in. So Patey gets her team on the board, and it's 1-0 Mercedes.
So here Patey is again. You may be wondering why they're going now in the opposite direction. It's because in Polo, every time a goal is scored, they change goal mouse. Now this is to ensure that no one team has an advantage if there's a wind factor, if there's a sunlight factor, if there's a field factor. So here's another goal for the white team for Mercedes-Benz.
Was that Patey again that scored?
Looks like it was Tiari Patey.
I believe it's Tiari Patey. Tiari Patey having a really great game as she is out on a tear, as she got a great pass right into the center, set her up very good, good mallet swing, good position at having the horse have all his feet or hooves on the ground, and a good steady balance and a platform to knock it on through for 2-0 Mercedes-Benz. So we're going back the other way as Porsche now comes up with it, as Gonzi tries to play it through. Onto the far side.
Juan Bolini calling off his team, looking for a heavy
Juan
neck
sending
shot,
a nice shot down there.
Traffic.
Just to the left. That was a beautiful shot.
Sure was. Bolini with a nice shot to the outside, and challenged right there by Alvarez. And the ball did go to the left side, so it'll be a knock-in for Team Porsche. Early on here in Chukker number 1, 2-0 Mercedes-Benz on top of 2 goals by Tiari Patey from Wailua here on Oahu. Big shot by Roldan going up, and that's kind of been the offense for Team Mercedes-Benz thus far, as Roldan hits it, and Patey goes and chases it. Here comes Roldan, trying to turn the ball around, given chase by Gonzi. But Roldan with a big swing. Oh, wow, that might go. It's definitely going to go to the back line, and it does, and it's just a little bit off target, going to the left side of the goal. But you just see the arm strength and the power of a Nick Roldan.
Absolutely. To have that kind of accuracy from that far away from the goal, that's what makes you an excellent player. That clean, nice shot flying over everybody's head so nobody can reach that ball until it hits the ground again.
So here comes Porsche and a big swing by Bellini. Bellini puts it up front for Ganzi. Ganzi trying to get it on her offside. It's got also Mark Becker there. We haven't called Mark Becker's name, but Becker and Ganzi both for the ball. Ganzi drives it ahead, going up towards the center, and that looks like it's going to be Roldan that plays it back with a nice backhanded shot.
There by Chris Dawson goes in.
Dawson is right there to put it in, and that's a score for Team Porsche.
You know, Bob, we were talking a little earlier about it being such a high goal polo matchup. We do have
So Porsche finally gets on the board with a score from Dawson as we take a look at the replay.
Looks like Mark Becker didn't get the shot he wanted on that play. He was trying to back that ball out of the goal mouth, and it wasn't what he wanted, so he left an opportunity for Black to score.
So they switch sides, and so Mercedes-Benz will be going to our, from our right to our left, as scrub for the ball on the far side of the field. If you're just joining us, we're here at the beautiful Honolulu Polo Club in Waimanalo, Hawaii for the Hawaii Polo Live 2015 Polo Soireē.
Mark Becker sends the ball towards goal. Bellini
So Bellini back in the ball.
takes the charge.
And slowing down, you'll notice that some of these players slow down very, very well to give their teammates time to get in front of them.
Back shot by Haiti.
By Julian Alvarez, I believe that was. And
30 seconds left on the clock.
here we are at the 30-second horn.
We're seeing if Mercedes-Benz can get another one, and not just one on another one on the scoreboard as they lead 2-1 here. And it looks like Bellini is just going to play and just try to just drill this ball as hard as he can, and he does, to the center of the field.
Nice pick up there by Herman DeCoy, sends the ball up. Back shot there by Becker. And
There's the
that's
bell
Chucker,
signifying
ladies and
the
gentlemen. Put your
end
hands
of
together
Chucker
for both
number
these five
1
teams
and an action-packed
as we
Chucker,
head-
as we had 3 goals scored, 2 by Mercedes-Benz and 1 by Porsche. And the 2 Mercedes-Benz scored, oddly enough, Tiari Patey, the number 1 player and the lone girl on the Mercedes-Benz team.
Well, not so strange if you know her. I tell you what, she's a real fantastic polo player. She makes those goals. She has very nice, clean shots, a clean line, so to speak. And she's an excellent rider, so that helps a lot. Of course, in polo, the riding's important. The horses are the most important. Horses are your game. So I know Chris Dawson, everybody's put in their horses and their players, and it's a team, a group effort over here with providing horses, because of course in Hawaii it's hard to get horses out here. You're not going to bring them with you. So when we have visiting players, it's really about loaning horses and having the aloha for your visiting a team to come and play some good chuckers on your horses.
They actually won the U.S. Open of
I was just going to say that was going to be a very expensive proposition if you had to fly your own horses. Because usually in a big international or national match, they're what, 6 to 8 horses, one per
Yes,
chucker? And
yes.
they play 6 or 7 chuckers, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the Argentine Open they play 8 chuckers.
Okay. So as we have this break here in Chucker number 1, we'd like to meet our gracious host here at the Honolulu Polo Club. His name is Alan Ho. He is the president here of the Honolulu Polo Club in Waimanalo. Let's meet him.
He, in conjunction with the people of Polo here, have designed a new saddle that is actually ergonomically more correct than any other polo saddle in the world, existing in the world right now. You want to get your saddle up over the withers, up over the shoulders, and this saddle he's co-designed does exactly that. Takes the pressure off.
Well, a very short interview. We had some audio difficulties there. Alan Ho, a great guy. Not only, he's an avid polo player, but, he's been with this particular club since its inception back in 1986. And just a great guy, very active in the polo community.
Yes, Alan is really an important guy here. He's supported a lot of us young up-and-coming players, and he continues to support this club with a lot of dedication and a lot of love and aloha. And even though he's not out on this field, he's certainly a huge part in making this event happen and getting all these people here, and a gracious host to have everybody here on his baby on this beautiful field that he calls home.
Yeah. Started the Honolulu Polo Club with Bob McGregor, the late Bob McGregor, and also Enrique Zobel and Mike Sheehan. They had a vision. They leased the property, and they got polo playing out here. And they're very ambitious about what they want to do for next year, bringing a lot of polo, and especially on a Saturday. Polo here naturally in Hawaii is on a Sunday, but they want to do it on a Saturday. I think we corrected our audio problem. Let's listen to the interview with Alan Ho. He cuts the grass, he puts up the boards, he takes care of the horses, and oh, by the way, he happens to be the president here of the Honolulu Polo Club. Alan Ho, thanks for joining us. You're putting on a fabulous show here. It was a lot of work, wasn't it?
Thank you. It is always fun to do something that requires a lot of energy, and putting on an event like this at a polo club requires a lot of energy. But at the end of the day, you're satisfied and you got to smile, and it's all good.
What a treat for Hawaii polo fans to get a sense of what big-time international polo is when we brought in these 8 and 6 gold players, and Nick Roldan and Juan Bellini. I mean, the fans out here are just having a wonderful time, a wonderful treat for them.
They are, and it is extra special that Melissa Ganzi and Nick Roldan and Juan Bellini are able to join us today, because it does kind of present to perhaps some of the people in Hawaii who are not as familiar with polo. Hawaii has an incredible legacy of not only horses but polo. We go back a long, long time.
To the 1880s, I believe. Speaking of legacy, your legacy here at the Honolulu Polo Club stretches since its inception with a couple of friends of yours that started it all back in 1986.
Correct. 1986, we got control of this property. It was really literally a garbage dump, and Enrique Zobel, Bob McGregor, and Michael Sheehan had the vision to organize it and put it together. And this year we're actually playing our 29th season. So next year is going to be a huge year for us as we celebrate the 30th year.
Fantastic. And talk about your support to the Hawaii International Polo Association, a great nonprofit and a great supporter of local polo.
Absolutely. One of the things that, and I believe you already shared this or had this discussion with Chris Dawson. Chris and I, a few years ago, said, we need to not only take care of our polo.
Supporters and sponsors, VIP Transportation, Intech, Settlemeyer Law, Dawson Media, Adwalls, JB Brands, Baleaga, Sultan Ventures, Hawaii Theater. Mahalo for your support in this 2000.
Thank you, Alan Ho. Thank you for being a great host, and I'm sure everyone's having a great time out here in this as we begin Chucker number 2 with Mercedes-Benz out in front 2-1. We're getting ready for the toss-in to start the Chucker. If you saw Melissa Ganzi on her helmet, she's wearing the pink helmet. I think she's wearing a GoPro. I think she really wants to record this.
GoPro is the thing. GoPro is the thing nowadays. Surfing, horses, doesn't matter. GoPro provides great footage on top of the horse, and there's a lot of new footage coming out with the GoPro that we haven't been able to see before from that perspective. So here we go. We've got a drive down the field. Herman Louis DeCoit is coming against Julian Alvarez. It's a race. Can they make it? And he gets a back shot in. And Nick Roldan
Boy,
finishes the play.
Johnny on the spot was Nick Roldan on the trail position. What Julian Alvarez could not make up. Roldan showing his 8-goal specialty as he comes there and he cleans it up, and we're tied at 2-2.
And certainly we're going to see a more intensity as these chukkers go on. And I'm sure the last couple chukkers are going to be very, very exciting. Here we go for another toss-in. Looks like Chris Dawson gets a piece of it. Dawson waiting for his team. Dawson going down. He's going to try to go for the pass. And Nick gets it down the field again. And it's in.
Wow, what a shot. What a shot from way back.
That's not going to be the last goal we see from him.
So Roldan scores again in less than 30 seconds. And what a nice setup from Chris Dawson.
So here we are at another throw-in. Every time a goal is scored, it's a throw-in. It's anybody's ball after a goal is scored. And there's a whistle on that play.
So when the whistle sounds, everyone stops as usual, and then everybody looks at the referee and they try to decide, what went wrong or who did something wrong.
That's right. When the whistle stops, it means it's a foul. It stops the clock as well. Clock's in play when the ball's in play.
And so Porsche on the offensive now as Melissa Ganzi has it on her offside. She's trying to put it in, trying to reach. Oh, and she just can't get it to go in between the posts. And it'll be a knock-in for Team Mercedes-Benz.
There's another whistle on that play. We'll have to see what the refs say. Oh, it's a timeout. It's a timeout for tack.
So it looks like Mark Becker went off. Let's just see if Ganzi, as he tries to reach and try to just knock that in, and she just can't get a mallet on it as it goes over the end line. We had a little equipment issue here just behind our broadcast position. That's Mark Becker. As you take a look at Melissa Ganzi and her GoPro, and we're waiting for the knock-in and Becker to get back into the field of play.
Well, obviously, equipment is of the utmost importance in polo. We have 2 reins, we have a girth and an overgirth. We kind of have a backup for everything, and that's because if one thing breaks and you're going on that horse at 40 miles per hour, it can be very dangerous, especially with a bunch of horses and players behind you. So when there's a tack issue, the clock does stop, the play does stop, especially if it's something like a girth or a stirrup leather, which is fairly common.
You saw we're coming to you live from the Honolulu Polo Club in Waimanalo. You saw the picture of Nick Roldan, 3rd-generation polo player, as we mentioned, from Argentina, but was really raised in the West Palm Beach area. His father and his grandfather played for the Sultan of Brunei. Here you're getting a good look at Juan Bellini, who is 53 years young. And I said, so when are you going to retire? And he says, when nobody wants to play with me anymore.
I don't think that's going to be anytime soon.
I don't think that's anytime soon. He told me that they're going to have to pull him off the horse to have him quick. They're still looking at the gear of Mark Becker over here in the stable area, and that's what's holding up play here.
But really, polo is a passion, and it's just like anything else. Once you get the bug, it's really very hard to get out. They say you don't get out of polo unless you are broke, become broke, or you die. And so we hope that, the former happens before the latter, or none at all. So here's Mark Becker. He's getting back up.
Looks like they fixed whatever equipment problem they had. As you see the file on Becker, number 2 playing for Mercedes-Benz. As you mentioned, the owner with his wife Tammy, the owner of Happy Trails out on the North Shore, a fine place to just go and spend the day, to ride the trails and to have lunch, and a real family outing there with the owners of Happy Trails.
That's right. There's so much to do on the beautiful North Shore and throughout these islands. As you can see in the backgrounds, we have the Ko'olau mountain range. and many, many places to hike and have recreational activities. Here's Mark Becker. He's coming in.
Roll down with the ball and a big shot to the midsection, looking for Patey. Patey and Chris Dawson.
Mark Becker got hooked out of that play.
And Alvarez just tried to come in there and just poke the ball away, and he didn't. And a big shot here by Bellini. Bellini trying to send it up front for Ganzi. Ganzi with Roldan on her tail, and Ganzi can't get the shot that she really wanted there. And Roldan will control the ball on the far side. Roldan showing a little bit of that mallet play that he is so known for, and he brings it back to the center. Oh, and he missed the shot right there.
But Ganzi's there to back him up, and that's a... Oh, I'm sorry. She was trying to get her play. She accidentally hit it to the wrong player. And here we have a bunch of people on the ball. But look, Juan is just controlled.
And then Mark Becker there trying to bump him off of the line. And a big shot up to Roldan. Roldan, backswing, and a nice tail shot that was to get the ball out of the offensive area. Here comes Bellini. Bellini sending it up to Ganzi. Ganzi has to get a little giddy up before it goes over the end line, and she can't catch up to it.
Beautiful, beautiful
Oh, was
shot.
that? Did she hit that? Oh, and it hit the goal post. Oh, that was a fantastic shot. Looked like the ball was going over the goal line, and from an almost improbable angle, it actually hit the goal post.
And there, beautiful shot upfield. Chris Dawson looks like he has the line. He's going to try to check down and back that ball. Not quite the shot he wanted, and here we are. The Hawaiian Hurricane, Herman DeCoit, gets a back shot on that one. Melissa Ganzi has the near side shot. She gets it. She passes it to her offside. She's taking it down the field.
With Roldan in chase.
That's right. Pressure from the other side. She's slowing it down. She says, I'm going to get it in this time, gosh darn it. And it's stolen by Roldan on the near side. It looks like there's a whistle on that play. The judges, the referees didn't agree with that call. I would say that was pretty all right. Melissa had the right of way. We'll see what they call.
Let's take a look at that near miss as the ball at an almost improbable angle as she just hit the right side goal post. You know, I really thought that ball was going to go over the end line, and, she just did get her mallet on, and it was defined physics, if you will, such a tough angle to put that ball in, and she almost got it in. Looks like we have an equipment problem with someone. Is it Becker again?
Looks like it's a broken stirrup leather, so we'll see if they can fix that there. So obviously the stirrups are important. You need to stand in, and there's the groom. So for every horse that's on the field, for every player that's on the field, there is always about a couple people in the background. They're called the pit crew for the most part. So the pit crew is very important. They tend to care for the horses every day. They put them on an exercise program. They're there for the games, getting the horses ready. So when the players come, the players just have to worry about the game.
You know, for the players with the lower handicaps, I'm talking about 1 and 2, it is a progression. When you start in riding horses and learning to play polo, you also learn to be a groomsman, and to learn how to take care of the horse, learn how to do the tails. As you see some of the horses there in the stable area, they're getting their rests or maybe getting ready to go in, after half time. But it's kind of a thing where it's all around. You learn how to do that, and then you play.
That's right.
It's only the very few really jump on the horse and play all the time.
That's right. This logo polo is mostly what we play out here in Hawaii on the average. We do have very high goal polo parts of our tournament season, which is usually at the height of the summertime. Of course, there's polo played on all islands, on the big island of Hawaii, in Makawao on Maui. 2 polo fields over here. There used to be a polo field on Kauai. Unfortunately, that polo field has been really shut down in recent years.
But they're trying to revive that, I am told. As we take a look at some of the clubs here, we talked about Mokuleia. We're here in Waimanalo. Olinda is where the Maui Polo Club. Kohala is the Mauna Kea Polo Club. And out in Princeville, the Kauai Polo Club, as you said, it was shut down for a little while. And now there is some talk. And I was talking with Chris Dawson earlier about to revive polo on Kauai.
Right, and this is the whole renaissance of polo in Hawaii. There really is a lot of action and a lot of focus on trying to get more players, more horses, and more fields open, as well as making polo accessible to kind of the average Joe. Over here, you can get involved in polo. If you don't have a whole lot of money, just go take a couple lessons, play in polo school chukkers, and that's how most people start in polo out here in Hawaii. Learning, riding, and honestly, that's a most important part and enjoyable part about polo is the horses and getting to know their personalities, getting to know how to take care of them, how to ride them, and each horse is different, just like us. So it becomes a pleasure when you finally get to know a good horse.
So we had a little bit of an equipment problem, and during that timeout, that Roldan actually went off into the stable area. Now he's back on. We're going to resume play here in Waimanalo. Just a beautiful, little overcast, but it's cool because it's been very hot here in Hawaii as of late. But we're experiencing some nice, cool, gentle trade wind weather here, and we're almost ready for play.
Oh my goodness! She almost had it. Looked like she had it. Roldan looks like he has the ball, driving it down the field.
That's Roldan. And
not quite the shot he wanted on that one.
No, it
Chris
isn't.
Dawson takes the line of the ball. He's taking it around, and he's going to be looking back there to see if he can't get it to his team.
Mark Becker tries to ride him off and does, and a nice back shot by Bellini. But picked up by Roldan. Roldan in the middle of the field, at the midway point of this field. 300 yards wide, and a big looping ball all the way down, looking for Beatty, who already has 2 goals. She goes offside, near side with one, tries to score, no score, it's off to the right. Oh, check that. That's Alvarez. Alvarez. You know, Alvarez is just long hair. He's a great surfer.
That's right. It's hard to tell. You know, Julian's hair is the flowing hair, and most of us girls that actually have long hair, we put it in braids for the most part. He lets his fall, but look, we have some action going down here. It looks like Juan setting everybody up. And Herman Louie drives it up to Melissa Gonzi. Melissa trying to get on the play. She gets a nice shot in there.
Trying to go for that next shot there, but Herman Louie Decoy following.
And a back shot by Mark Becker. Backing that out of the play. Herman Louie, though. Herman Louie.
Right in the middle of the goal there.
And Melissa tries to crack one to goal. She can't quite get the shot she wants. And Mark Becker clears it out of there. I'm sorry, that must be Juan.
So both of us getting Juan a little mixed up here.
That's right.
So here comes...
and there's a whistle on that play. I don't know what it's for. Hopefully it's not for another equipment malfunction.
One of the grooms people is coming on, in the pink hat is coming on, and we do have another equipment malfunction, and it's going to be all the way on the far side, and it looks to be Herman Decoyt's mallet.
No, it's not the
mallet.
mallet.
No, it's not the mallet.
So in polo, the mallet, mallet breaking actually does not constitute a stop of the clock or a blow of the whistle. If you break your mallet, you may have somebody on the sidelines ready to give you a mallet, but they're not allowed to stop the play. So, however, for equipment malfunctions, which seems like today's our day for that, they're going to stop the clock and they're going to get somebody in there. Okay, so now they're calling chukker. It must have been within the 30 seconds. Really, the chukkers are supposed to be 7 minutes with a 30-second cushion, and so I think they are using that as to call the chukker.
So it looked like a lot of time had rolled off on, even though they were calling timeout, the referees called chukker here in the second chukker with the score Mercedes-Benz 3 and Porsche 2.
So, folks, it is officially
So now we're going to be a halftime. It's going to have a halftime show.
2015 Polo Soireē.
And so we're looking forward to that.
Well, they're having a halftime show. I think what we're doing here is we're going to be talking with some of the stars of this game. And, of course, when you're talking stars, you're talking to the number one player who came all the way from the state of Florida to be with us today. Here's my chat with Nick Roldan. Well, first off, Nick Roldan, welcome to Hawaii, a fond aloha, and how has it been to been in paradise here for now a couple of days?
I mean, look, the short is obviously too short. You know, we've been here 2 days. We're only here for another day, and there's just too much to do and not enough time. But you know, we've had a great time. You know, the Hawaii Polo Club and Chris Dawson and everyone who made this event happen. They've been great hosts for us, and they made us really feel at home, and showed us around the island, and I got to do some surfing, which was always one of the big things I wanted to do here. So we've been having a blast. So we're happy to be here.
You did not try the bonsai pipeline.
No,
I take it.
No. I stuck to a little surf spot right in front of the hotel. Small waves, just have some fun, you know.
So you've known Chris Dawson for a couple of months. You've known him for a couple of years, and just his reputation and stuff like that. So what made you come out here and support the Hawaii International Polo Association?
I mean, look, Chris, came in and spent Melissa Ganzi, we got to know him there, and had a great time. And he was just telling us about his ideas and his vision here, and we wanted to support. We're myself and Melissa and Juan and the Aspen Valley Polo Club, and we're the family. We're all big supporters of obviously the sport and trying to grow new polo clubs. So we love the vision and we love where it's headed, and we figured we'd come out and support him and give him all of his or help him with whatever he needs. So, in
your opinion, is that where the growth of this sport is? It's not so much with the people with a lot of money and a lot of fancy cars and planes, but it's the everyday people, like here in Hawaii, people who pack a lunch, pack their family, and they head out to the polo matches.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously the sport has it's perceived as that sort of royalty sport, only played by the prince and by wealthy people, but it's a sport that can be played by anyone of all, anybody, male, female, of all ages, and there's polo all over the world. Wherever you may be, you're bound to find a polo club at some place. So we're just trying to expand it, promote it, and try to reach it out to the masses and make it, try to make it a little more popular. So
you have said before that polo has been your passport to the world, playing in 100%. So many different countries.
Yeah, it definitely is a passport to the world, like Winston Churchill once said.
Oh, you're not going to take credit for that?
No, that's very cliche.
Okay, so third generation polo player. Third generation. You've been playing polo probably ever since you can remember.
Yeah.
You won the U.S. Open at a very young age, 14 or 15 years old. Most people would say, well, it's all downhill from there, but you went the other way. You went to the top of your game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm still working. I'm still learning. My road is still, it's still very long, and there's still a lot more goals that I want to achieve. So, but I can't complain. I've had an amazing career, and I've met a bunch of amazing people, seen some of the most beautiful places in the world, and I'm really blessed to be able to do what I do and to love doing my job. So, I'm just. I'm grateful, and we're just excited to be here.
You've been an 8-gold player for a long time, at the top of the U.S. Polo Association, and a top player in the country. Is a 10-gold attainment, is that in your sight, and is that attainable for you?
Yeah, 100%. That's always been my goal, and I don't think that there's any reason why I can't get there. It just takes a lot of work and dedication and a lot of support from obviously Mark and Melissa have really invested in my career, and I work with them year round, so which is great, and that's really the only. It's tough to get to 10 goals, let alone by yourself. So having a support and organization from Grand Champions and from Mark and Melissa is obviously huge, and and really will help me to get there. So yeah.
Does it make a difference of where in the lineup do you play? I mean, if you play up front, a little bit more examples. Maybe in the back, maybe not so much.
All the stars need to align. Horse-wise, team-wise, everything. We just came off of a good win in Greenwich with Mark, and the Audi team, which was really a great experience, and we had a lot of fun and. A big win for us. Beating White Birch on their home turf is obviously really tough.
Yeah. I was going to just say to the people,
yeah.
if they didn't know, they defeated White Birch, the 3 or 4-time perennial champion there for the East Coast Open, and you came in and. Oh, you scored the winning goal.
Well, yeah. I was just at the right place at the right time. I got an amazing pass from Mark, but it was, we had a great time and a great experience. And but yeah, like I said, it's to reach that 10-goal rating there are very few that have done it. I really feel that I can do it, and just have to keep working and stay focused.
This is your first trip to Hawaii. The fans love you. They're enjoying the caliber of polo that you have brought here to the 50th state. And I guess I got to ask the question that a lot of the people who are watching here in the stands today, are you going to come back? Are you going to make Hawaii maybe an annual stop?
100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah. You've got my blessing. I'm coming back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Aloha.
Certainly glad to have Nick Roldan's blessing here in Hawaii. We're glad that he is going to come back. One important thing that he was talking about for his personal mission, the mission of he and Melissa Gonzi and a lot of other polo players, as well as the United States Polo Association, is making polo accessible to the average person. Letting people know that, hey, this is a sport you can enjoy. You don't have to be the jet-setting, owning 8 horses kind of player. There is plenty of in-between for all types of people. As long as you're interested in a good, challenging sport, it's one of the most biggest adrenaline rushes you can have. And it's really a fun thing to get into. Great way to have exercise. It's a family sport. You see that there's generations playing together, a lot of father-son teams, and anybody can play, especially women. I got to say, I'm a polo player. I love playing polo, and it's we play with the boys, man. They don't really give us any concessions out there on the polo field.
Yeah, they don't cut you any slack, do they?
No, and as you can see, there's some talented players out there. Tiari Patey scoring those first 2 goals. Melissa Ganzi having some really close calls. She had probably about 3 or 4 missed opportunities, just not quite where she wanted it.
Nick was a great guy, and you know what? He's just enjoying the water here in the Hawaiian Islands, as he talked about. But, big waves come to the North Shore of Oahu every winter. But the summertime is time for the South Shore to shine. You know what the good thing about being in Hawaii is you can play polo and then you could just go and jump in the water and go surfing, huh? That would be great. I mean, you were looking at those pictures saying, man, I wish I was in the water right now.
Oh, certainly, Russ. So a lot of us polo players are also surfers. And in fact, we can walk across the street right now, jump into the water, be at one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and come back ride. In fact, my ideal day is to surf and play polo in the same day. That's what I call living life.
Well, speaking of life, the Hawaii Polo Life magazine is centered around polo, but it's much more than that. It is more about culture, lifestyles, travel, things like that. The founder and developer of Hawaii Polo Life magazine is a guy by the name of Chris Dawson, a guy who's well known here in the islands and he's playing in the game. And before today's match, I had a chance to have this chat with the first man of Hawaii Polo. With the brain trust of all of this here today, Chris Dawson, how do you put all of this together and keep sanity around you? And then also, you be playing in this match.
Well, no, it's been awesome, man. I think the first things we have a lot of friends that are helping out with today. It takes a village, and thank you to everybody that's came on here and made today possible. It's a big deal. We've got the #1 polo player, #1 American polo player in the world here playing today, anchoring the Team Mercedes. You got one of the top Argentines here and anchoring the other team, Team Porsche. And this is serious polo. We haven't had this kind of polo in Hawaii in decades, so it's amazing.
I think the fans are just enjoying it because they're seeing the level of polo that has just been elevated. But let's take us back. Take us back to the history of Hawaii polo. It all started really with the Hawaii Paniolos, and it just built from there, didn't it?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. If you look at our association logo, it says Hawaii International Polo Association 1880. Arguably, we were playing polo here in Hawaii since before. Arguably, we're playing polo here in Hawaii before the U.S. We started before they did, and we have an incredibly rich history with playing polo. And a lot of people didn't know that. Even when I found that out, I was like, really? We've been playing polo that long in Hawaii? So I took it on as a personal mission to kind of bring the polo back and celebrate that rich history of polo here in Hawaii. When we were playing polo, Hawaii was a kingdom. It was a sovereign kingdom, and it's a great reminder of that issue. And it's just great to do this and embrace the history of the sport.
You're a very busy person. Of course, you have your outside ventures that you do. You have a farm and horses that you have to run. But you also, for the last 9 years now, have been the circuit governor to the National Polo Association. And you took over at a time when, well, polo wasn't going anywhere. It kind of was stagnant. Talk about those days and how it has now been uplifted to where it is today.
Sure. Polo is having a huge resurgence across the United States and also throughout the world. When I got elected to the national board 10 years ago to represent Hawaii Polo and represent polo in the Pacific, and it was an incredible opportunity for me to see what was happening in the sport of polo from an amateur perspective, from a professional perspective, from an equine welfare perspective, intercollegiate, interscholastic, and it was amazing. And when I came back to Hawaii, I did my quick assessment of what was going on in Hawaii, and I was actually pretty concerned. We've been playing polo since 1880. We had clubs in Hawaii, but we weren't bringing a lot of new excitement to the clubs, sponsors, advertisers, or students. And myself, along with Alan Ho, president of the Honolulu Polo Club, Bill Curtin, president of the Maui Polo Club, took it upon ourselves to found, we were the co-founders of the Hawaii International Polo Association. And our mission is dedicated to #1, the rich history of polo in these islands and our host culture. #2, horses. Horses are everything to us. These animals mean so much to us. They're our friends, they're our partners. They go out there in the field with us and we perform together. And also the international camaraderie. Hawaii is a great location, as we all know that live here. And everybody wants to come to Hawaii. So we're looking forward to doing more international matches here in Hawaii.
I think before you took over as the circuit governor, polo was more exclusive. And it's now become more inclusive to where folks are now, they don't have to have, a lot of money and drive a Bentley or something like that. They pack up the kids, they pack up a picnic lunch, and they head out to the North Shore, they head out here to Waimanalo, and they enjoy the sport. They enjoy the outdoors and the atmosphere that polo exudes.
Absolutely. You know, I think that the one thing that Hawaii, our culture here is so amazing is that we're humble and we're casual.
Yeah.
And we're very inclusive. It's like everybody come, hang out, check out Polo, see the horses, bring your kids. It's awesome.
Fantastic. Now, I know I want to talk about a subject that's very dear to your heart, and that's the Armed Forces polo matches that you started.
Absolutely.
You started with playing on Fort Shafter and a military base here on Oahu. We had the first ever polo match there on Palm Circle. This place is huge, the size of this field, even bigger, maybe 3 times the size. But now every year for the last 3 years, you've been inclusive of bringing the Armed Forces into it. And if you know anything about the Armed Forces in America, polo and horses have been a part of the Army for many, many decades.
Absolutely. You know, it was interesting. I'd gone to one of the meetings, and one of my very first meetings at the national board, and there was no discussion of the military at all. And I came back to Hawaii, and it just bothered me. I was driving by Schofield Barracks every day out to work on my horses, and I thought, you know, if the local bowling leagues and bicycle leagues and whatever are supporting our soldiers and our men and women in uniform, why are we not doing that? So I went back to, we started doing benefit matches here where we basically took the polo community and merged it with the military community and started doing benefit matches to show aloha and respect for our men and women in uniform. And it was very appropriate at the time because we'd been 10 years in a very controversial war in the Middle East, and our young men and women were coming back with horrific injuries. And I think it really is something that all of us in our community really need to show respect and gratitude. What I'm most proud to say is that this simple concept of marrying polo communities with military communities here in Hawaii and showing aloha, I went back, I made a presentation, I showed what we did, multimedia, and guess what? Now across the country, you're seeing polo military benefit matches showing that level of appreciation. And I would say in my term as circuit governor in Hawaii, that is the single most thing I'm most proud of.
Fantastic. And being an old Army guy myself, I have to root for the Army, so go Army there. So no bias there.
Go Army.
Last question, Chris. You formed Hawaii Polo Life magazine. You're unveiling your 3rd issue on this day.
Right.
Talk about that and what that means not only to the sport of polo, because it's just not about polo in the magazine.
Absolutely. You know, it was interesting. One of the problems with polo and why it wasn't growing is that polo communities around the world or around the country were just talking to themselves. And so, do you play polo? I play polo. Okay, let's talk. They weren't talking to the lifestyle. They weren't talking to the fans. They weren't talking to people on the sidelines. And I saw an incredible opportunity to, what I like to say is, bring the sexy back, or bring back the excitement of the horses and the glamour and everything that's related to the sport. So a very good friend of mine and college roommate, Mike Voorhees, is an incredible commercial photographer. He films for IndyCar, NASCAR, Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. He's done incredible work out in Newport Beach, California. I talked to him and I said, let's do this magazine. Let's focus on lifestyle, fashion, travel, culinary, music, art, and the secret sauce, polo. And it worked out really well. So when you see our magazines, it's a little bit of everything for everybody, but the centerpiece of our magazine every year is our elegant wear and our elegant swimwear. Check it out. It's amazing.
Well, I think you got my attention right there. Chris Dawson, the first man of Hawaii Polo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Russ. Pleasure.
Well, you know, I could just talk to that guy all day. He's just a great ambassador for the sport, great ambassador for here in Hawaii, and just an all-around good guy. Everyone who meets him just loves the guy.
Yeah, we all as a polo community owe a lot to Chris Dawson and what he's done for polo. So we're about to get in here in the 3rd chukker.
A little earlier than we expected.
That's all right. Better early than late.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're pushing it because of the waning daylight. If those clouds weren't there, we would see the refraction of the sun off the Ko'olau Mountains on here to the pitch. But because we have a little bit of an overcast skies, we're going to cut the halftime just a little short, and we're going to get into this 3rd chukker. So both teams are back onto the field, as we see the Porsche team in black taking on and leading by a score of 3-2 the Mercedes-Benz team. So Porsche on black on the offense, going from right to left. Ganzi with a shot down the middle.
She does so successfully, trying to make some contact.
And here is Nick Roldan. He says, I don't think so.
Just gets enough into it to just veer the other horse off of its pass, and it'll be a knock-in for Team Porsche.
To get that mallet head.
So here we are. We've got a mallet change happening at a very convenient time.
So it's a mallet change, but not necessarily. I thought you said it doesn't stop play.
That's true. I believe they stopped the play for something else. I believe that what we're looking at, it could be a penalty 6, otherwise known as a safety, because I believe Nick was driving the ball down.
He might have touched the ball last before it went over the end line.
Correct. So on a safety or a play like this, the other team gets to hit the ball from the 60-yard line at the point where it went out. So they take, it looked like it was a little to the right. They're gonna place the ball on the right at the 60-yard line if this is in fact what they are.
Yeah, exactly. So
what they are calling.
Yeah. And it can be defended. In other words, you can get your mallet and you can put your horse in front of the goal and you can try to knock that ball down if it's in the air.
Oh, that's right. So you can see all the players are getting up to goal. What will happen is that Juan is going to hit the ball. He's either going to try to sail it through the uprights, which is, I have a feeling, may be his plan, or he can dribble it down. Now, when he hits the ball's in play. It's a live ball. So these guys are going to try, his team's going to try to get it in, and the other team, I've seen it stop before. Quite impressively. Here we go.
So here's Bellini with the strike, and he just dribbles it up front and trying to get it to one of the teammates out in front, and that's Ganzi right in front. She can't get a hold of the ball, and the ball is cleared by Team Mercedes-Benz.
And a back shot.
A back shot.
But it bounces off of a pony, and here we go. Here, Nick Roldan has a chance to get that ball out of there. It bounces off of a pony, but he's going to come down to the sidelines, and nice and easy. He's not going to rush it. Now the big swing. It's right on the sidelines, and it bounces off.
The sideboard is big action right in front of us.
Looks like this ball is a little unruly. And here's Melissa. She gets the back shot. She turns on it.
And Melissa bangs it off one of them.
And here she goes, Melissa going for the play. Melissa taking it downfield. Oh no, Dawson's in front. He's trying to center the ball, not quite the shot he wanted. And here we go. Herman Louis hooked out of the play by Nick Roldan. Nick taking it back down the field. And who's there? None other than Tiari Patey, who scored our first 2 goals in the match. Not quite the shot she wanted. And here's Herman DeCoit. Approaching the ball. I'm sorry, that is
Bellini.
Looks like it's Juan taking the ball up. And he's stopping. He's kind of trying to draw Mark into a little foul there, which he might have gotten if Mark hadn't gone out of the way. Here's Melissa Ganzi. Wow, she's really all over that ball today. And here we go. We got a little traffic jam near the sidelines. Now it looks like it's Herman Louis centering the ball. Roldan brings it down. And here we have Tiari on the ball.
Oh, good shot. Centering it back. Now she's playing it to her
near side. Okay, so there's a whistle on that play now. Of course, in polo, we talk about this line of the ball, and so although she took the shot on the near side, she did not stick to her sideline. Her horse actually crossed that line, so it's a game of angles. The ball was going straight. She accidentally crossed it, and that's why they blew the whistle.
So she created her own violation.
Correct, and it's easier to do than you think.
So much to think about while you're just trying to control the horse.
That's right. And that's why this game is awesome, because it's a challenge. Here we go.
Dawson putting it out in front of the goal, and now he's on the goal line. And his teammate, Herman DeCoit, trying to putting it free. And who else but Nick Roldan gets the big stick in and clears it out for his team. And back the other way comes Team Mercedes as they're trailing in this, or actually they're leading in this match 3-2.
And here Nick, he sends it up to Tiari. It's Tiari and Chris. Tiari against Chris. Chris backs that ball, and now it's on the sideboards. Nick centers it again. Here we go.
Really nice that the horse can cooperate and kick that ball out.
Looks like there is a whistle on that play. Believe Jesse Neuwirth is being subbed in for Julian Alvarez. Julian getting kicked by a horse earlier this week and is probably not feeling 100%. So we do have a player substitute in here.
That has to hurt. So who is our new substitute player?
So this young man is named Jesse Neuwirth. He actually comes from the Baldwin family, who is one of the oldest polo playing families on Maui. And he's one of those kids that he just worked really hard. He was around the horses, nice gentleman player. And so he's subbing in, and we'll see. He's riding a little horse named Meatball.
So this is a penalty. A penalty looks like it's a penalty 4 from 60 yards away.
Correct. It's a defended penalty. So here Jesse is going to probably try to put it right through the uprights. We'll see how he goes.
Get all hooves planted down, a good strike, and he puts it up in the air, and it's no good. It's
little
wide
to the
right.
That's right. Well, you know, it happens, and although it looked like it was going to go through, it was just not exactly what he wanted. So here we go with a knock-in for the black. And Juan sending it up the field.
Boy, he's just got a strong mallet. He could just hit that ball at least 120 yards. And Ganzi pushes it even further. Ganzi now.
Look at her go.
For Porsche. Takes a big swing at the goal. This ball is going. Can she get it before it goes over the end line? And no, it's a little to the left. I even heard the announcer said it was a goal. So, you know what? From that angle, it looked like it might have went in. But from our angle, we could see that it was going off to the left. It's all about angles here.
It is about angles. It is about angles, as in life. Here we go. And here, Mark Becker, owner of Happy Trails, taking it and down the field. Not quite what he's looking for. And Tiari drives it up on her near side, drives it towards the boards, being ridden off by Herman Louie. Not quite able to get that second shot. And so Juan says, I'll just be taking that.
You know, you just look at the accuracy of these players, and, you know, they were over on the far side, very near the crowd, and he just took a big shot, and, you know, he knew he was putting it back into the center and not, like, hooking it into the crowd.
That's right. Roldan making a very nice play there, but he just passes it back to Juan, unfortunately, and here we go. Now it looks like Herman Louie driving that ball downfield on a nice little gray pony, and we'll see what Herman can pull out of his rabbit hat.
Herman Louie DeCourt, the Hurricane, the guy from the Maui Polo Club, took a hard angle, and it's no good. Oh.
Yeah, and in these kind of games, especially when you have a mix of these amazing players and local players, it's very easy. The field sometimes can be hard. Sometimes you get the ball hitting, ricocheting off a horse or off the sidelines. And so it's really nice to see this open polo with horses running. That's what the spectators like. That's what we like to see, too, as polo players. We like a nice open running game where we can see clearly that the horses that are going, the players that are going.
And the cooperation between the player and the horse. It looks like a lot of great teamwork going on out there. So a little stoppage in play here.
Looks like the ball went over the sidelines, so they will have a throw-in. Usually when it goes out like that.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our referees today. The head umpire is Skip Schumann, and our umpire is Kai Agan.
And Skip Schumann, of course, coming from a roping and Western background, a lot of our players here actually started as cowboys or they are into the Western scene. And so Skip is no different. He's been playing here for a long time, and now he refs more than he plays, but he's a very valuable part of Hawaii Polo.
There's Bellini to try to get his team get going as Porsche goes from right to left. Ganzi trying to bring it back towards the middle, but right there to ride her off is Mark Becker. Ganzi trying to just backhand it into the goal. It's right in front of the gold mount, right in the danger area, and a nice clear there by Team Mercedes-Benz as we come to the near corner.
And here Roldan being checked by Herman Louie DeCourt. Roldan trying to put a fast one on him.
The 30-second horn has sounded.
Herman says, I can't let Nick score another one, man. Here we go. And here's Jesse Newworth on meatball. Jesse driving it down the field.
He's only got a couple of seconds and he misses his shot.
That's all right. Wherever the ball stops now in this chukker is where they're going to pick up next chukker. So as a strategy, you want to try to get it as far down the field as possible. And there is the final horn.
There's the whistle ending chukker number 3, a scoreless chukker after we had such great action in chukker number 1 and chukker 2. But goose eggs on the board for both teams in this third chukker. But it has Mercedes-Benz holding on to a very slim 3-2 lead over Team Porsche. Well, you know, the players and the horses will be taking a break. In fact, they'll be switching out the horses. But while we have this time, you know, we talked a lot about the Honolulu Polo Club and the Hawaii International Polo Club out on the North Shore. But there's a great little polo club that's on the Valley Isle, the Maui Polo Club. And let's meet one of the star players from the Valley Isle. When you look in the dictionary and you see the word Paniolo, you're really seeing a picture of him. Herman, old-time Hawaiian cowboy, Paniolo. I mean, you've always been around horses and you've been around the equestrian community virtually all your life growing up there in Maui.
All my life, yeah. My dad was involved with my cousins. They had ranches, so my dad wasn't a rancher himself, but we always would be helping out my cousins at their ranches.
And you started off really in a rodeo situation. In fact, you earned the state rodeo championship.
Yeah, I did that in the 1970s.
We're not dating ourselves.
But yeah, my dad was a part of my roping club, so we were totally involved. Me and my 3 brothers, we were involved in the rodeo. And we traveled the Hawaii Rodeo Association circuit. At one time, there was an association.
At one time, you had to be introduced to polo, and you told me about this really funny story about how you got involved in polo. Do you want to share it to our television viewing audience?
Yeah. Okay, me and all the cowboys one day got together and said, hey, let's go down to the baseball park where in Makawao they had a designated area for horses. So we went down there with a volleyball and some brooms and went at it. And we called it cowboy polo. And we had a great time doing it a couple of weeks or maybe longer. Then the real guys came and says, hey, you guys want to play polo? You guys look like you're having fun. Come turn out for the club. And so that's how I started. I went and wow, yeah, I like this. And I continued.
Your job there at the Maui Polo Club, you're a teacher, you're a groomsman, you do everything. You do everything but cut the grass there. Talk about what you give back to the sport of polo in your teaching. You have an interscholastic league going on there in Maui.
Yes, we have like about 16 kids that play from the ages of 4 to 17 or 18, around there. And we have middle school kids that have in national tournaments, and we have high school kids that have a national tournament. One is called the Knights Tournament, and one is called the Interscholastic Championships. And I'm the coach and teacher for pretty much of that. And I have a few other guys that help me, like Rosie Rosecrans, another Argentine player that moved to Maui. His name is Ron Ponsarini. Mm-hmm. He had, we work it and we get the kids to all get involved.
You know, Oahu Polo, both on the North Shore and here in Waimanalo, gets all the pub. But if you had to say something great about the Maui Polo Club, what would you be saying to folks who have never ever been up to Makawao and Orulinda?
You come up there and check it out. It's Paniolo, man. It's God's country, and it's overlooking Haleakala and one side of the field, and the other side overlooks all of the Valley Isle. You can see all the way down to the ocean. And it's a great place to be. You like horses, you like cows, you like cowboys, malolos. Just come on down.
You got it all. And what did they say about Maui? What did they say? What's the saying?
Maui no ko'oi.
Maui no ko'oi. Herman, thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Aloha, malamopono.
And Herman Louie no Ka'oi as well. He's one of our favorites here throughout the islands. Everybody knows Herman. you know, I have students, and he provides a forum. He and the Curtin family over on Maui really do a lot for the sport. They do a lot for the kids. And, you know, Herman himself, he loans out his horses to anybody that needs a horse, and all the kids that play, you know, a lot don't have to pay sometimes to use his particular horses, and they make it cheap and affordable so that there is a huge, huge youth community that plays polo in Maui. It's quite amazing. And that field is like basically an infinity pool that drops off to the ocean. It's gorgeous out there.
Yeah, it's right on the slopes of Haleakala. That is the big volcano there. They have a national park up on the top. Beautiful. Folks go to see the sunrise. If you've never been to Maui, it's well worth the trip over there. And he has a great polo playing son, Kaina, that plays in Georgia and in South Carolina. And Kaina, if you're there watching, it's pretty late over there on the East Coast. Your dad's having a fun time here playing against these national and international stars from the mainland.
That's right. Kaina Decoy is also a USPA umpire. He does a lot for the sport, but that's what I mean when I say it's a generational thing. Father and son often play together, and, you know, it runs in the family for most families. So here we are. We're about to commence the fourth chukker and have the throw in. We have a pretty tight match here, and we're going to see who this one should be the most intense out of all the chukkers. We'll see who ends up on top.
Well, it's funny because when we asked the players before, I mean, how hard are you going to play? How hard are you going to play? We're not good. We're going to probably take it easy a bit. Now it's for bragging rights now. It's a close match. It's 3-2. Mercedes-Benz up over Porsche. Now it's all about bragging rights. Somebody wants to win this game.
That's right. We'll see. And this is where the pros earn their money. So are they going to be able to save their team? Are they going to be able to make it or not? And so that's the excitement of any sport, really. Who's going to win?
7.5 minutes remaining here in beautiful Waimanalo, and you're joining us here for the Hawaii Polo Life 2015 Soireē. It's been a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful event, and polo is underway in the fourth and final chukker.
Looks like Juan gets the first bite on the ball.
Another shot by Bolini. He's trying to get his team up.
Right in front of the goal. Can Dawson turn it back? It's sitting there right in front of the goal, and that's a nice clearing shot by Jesse. Bolini lining it up, and he's just going to knock it in, and that's a goal.
And that's how fast it happens. So now we have a tied game.
That's right. So it is Bolini coming up with his first goal of the game, and it's a tying one, and Porsche has come back to tie this match at 3-all. Real funny how they just kind of leave the ball, but then that is the rules of the game. You can't cut off. He has the path right to the goal,
That's right.
And it was just an easy knock-in for Juan Bolini.
So because the ball bounced off of that goal, it actually changed the line. When it ricochets off of something, now the line is new, and so the players must respect that line, and that's why Juan, everybody else kind of ran over it. Juan slowed down, and he was able to get a good shot on that ball. So here we go, some action down here. Roldan backing that ball.
He does that so effortlessly.
That's right, and Tiare Patey looks like she's on it. Here we go.
All the way on the far side, Patey giving chase, and here comes Dawson, and Patey trying to center it, can't get a good hit on it. Coming back towards the center now as Jesse Newman now with the ball, trying to bring it to the goal, and he can't get a mallet. And another shot there. Let's take a look at the goal by Bellini as that ball just sat right there, and Juan kind of just has the time to just tee it up and calmly knocks it in.
That's right. So as you can see, Juan again with the ball. Juan again on that beautiful paint horse, taking it down the field, and who's going to get it? Looks like Melissa Ganzi is going to get a piece of that.
Tries to bring it back into the center, and that's Dawson who overruns the play. Jesse can't get it, and here comes Juan Bellini. Bellini pushing it down the field on the right side. Trying to center it now. Has a tough angle, and it's a little off its mark.
That's right.
As you would say in Spanish, what?
So a little bit, not quite one manapua to the left of that goal.
I thought that phrase was used in football. One Manapua short of the goal line.
I think it's a pretty common
Yeah,
one. We
it
like
is.
to use it here.
Yeah, if people don't know what a Manapua, it's a baked thing. But here's the shot by Bellini, and it's just a little off its mark to the near side.
Whistle on that play.
2 whistles again. Mahalo for their effort. Skip Schumann, Kai Agon, mounted on horseback. We also have the third man in the tower.
So we're tied at 3. It's a good match thus far. And who's going to get the go-ahead goal here as Team Porsche is moving from our left to our right?
That's right. Looks like there was a foul called on the white team. So now Juan has another chance at goal. He's taking it. It's a penalty 5, so it's from the spot or from midfield. And we'll see how he's going to play this. I wonder who he is going to try to get it down
And,
to.
you know, he's got the power to reach it, but he just knocks it into play, establishes the line, moves it forward.
Nice and easy. I think a little bit too much power, and it's over.
A crossing shot. He rode up there really quick enough to get his own crossing shot.
It looks like that was a goal.
Did he get that in? That was a
Looks
heck
like
of an angle, but he
that was
did
a
manage
goal.
to get it in. The goal judge says, yes, it is, and that is the go-ahead goal for Team Porsche and another score for Juan Bellini. Here we took a look at the replay.
Let's see who was that scored. I didn't quite.
It's Bellini.
Beautiful. It ricocheted right on the inside of that goal.
So Bellini with 2 goals in this match, and we have Porsche that has taken the lead over Mercedes-Benz. So 2 quick goals by Team Porsche has put them in the lead, and here comes Porsche once again. Chris Dawson overrid the ball, and he was challenged by Mark Decker.
Oh, Bellini again.
Bellini. Boy, he just leaves it in, and it's an easy knock-in, and there's the hat trick for Juan Bellini, his 3rd goal of the match, and it's now 4-3, or is it 5-3? No, it's 5-3. 5-3, Porsche over Mercedes-Benz.
Well, like I said, the pros are earning their money. They really are, and that's why they are pros, is because these guys can bring a team back. They can bring a play back with minutes to spare. And here we go. Looks like the Black isn't going to take any prisoners.
Yeah, Bellini with 3 goals, and boy, they're on the attack again.
And then Herman driving it down to goal again, and he makes it on a horse named Calais, one of Herman's horses that I covet and love. Yep, Calais. I played that horse in the ladies tournament over on Maui last year. It was an amazing horse, amazing.
So the Hawaiian Hurricane all the way from Makawao is really turning it on now for Team Porsche as you see the last moments of this. A nice backhanded shot off the near side, and that will find just enough energy to take it over the goal line. And it's now a 6-3 lead for Porsche. And Porsche is really pouring it on in this chukker.
And here we go. So Roldan has to answer to all these goals now. The pressure's really on him and his team to bring the score up. And he's taking his time. He says, I'm waiting for my team to get in position so I can pass them the ball. He's waiting for them to spread out. And here we go. Tiari's in the front. Tiari Patey getting it, getting a shot at it.
Tiari Patey, who
And
already
she
has
drives
2
it to
goals, takes a swing from about 50 yards out, and that's a little to the left. And oh, that was a goal that Mercedes-Benz really could have used at this juncture.
But they'll have some more opportunities now.
Tiari Patey showing a little bit of the form that she had in the first chukker where she scored 2 goals, but back the other way comes Porsche leading 6 goals to 3. And that's Dawson.
Dawson's leading the way. He's going to try to get one more up on those boards. There he goes. Does it have projection? It's a little to the right.
Dawson really speeding up on that ball and getting a good mallet hit on it, but just can't find the direction.
And here we go. Roldan bringing it up to Mark Becker on My Beautiful Horse Sister. And Mark is driving it there. Sorry, I had to plug you there, sister. She's a great horse. Mark getting a little on the ball, not quite the shot he wanted. And here we are. Oh, and that was a classic foul. That was a classic get your hand caught in the cookie jar foul. So Black had the line on that ball. Roldan couldn't help himself. It was too close to him. How can it be so close and yet so far? But it happens. So the foul happened because one player essentially cuts in front of the other, and that's illegal. What we don't want in polo is cutting off or T-boning or any instance where a horse's front legs can get caught up with another horse's back legs. Basically, the rules of this game are made so that with the safety of the horse and the players in mind. So here we have Juan Bolini coming down and trying to position themselves for another goal here. And looks like we might get it nice and easy.
Chris Dawson.
Dawson making one.
And there's the horn. And that is the end of the game. And what a great game it was as Porsche came up and just scored 4 unanswered goals here in the Chukker.
And that was a nice little put it through the uprights, and nice and easy, get past your player. Very good on the very good goal by Chris Dawson.
And there you see the sportsmanship exhibited by both teams as a hard-fought match and extending their congratulations. And I'm sure there's a lot of memories that are going to be taken back, not only to the mainland, but kept right here in Hawaii because of this experience.
That's right, and we really hope that all these players come back. I know it's Chris's goal to make sure that Hawaii is in a position to be a destination for polo players and, horse lovers alike to come enjoy this game, enjoy this sport, and all the other things that these beautiful islands have to offer.
So we're going to have Siri get off of her microphone, and she's going to head down and she's going to grab one of the star players of the Porsche team. That final score, it is Porsche 7, Mercedes-Benz 3. As we were going into Chukker number 4, if you recall, the score was 3-2 in favor of Mercedes-Benz. In that 7.5-minute period of Chukker number 4, Porsche came up with 5 unanswered goals, a lot of them from Juan Bolini, the outstanding Argentinian that came from Wellington, Florida, and he put in a hat trick. Dawson had 2 goals, DeCoit had 2 goals, but in the end it is Porsche with a 7-3 victory over the Mercedes-Benz team. It's been an excellent day of polo, and we're just waiting for Siri Matheson to get set, and we're going to have a little chat with one of the stars of the game. But before we do that, let me just tell you that Hawaii Polo Life by Chris Dawson, founded by Chris Dawson in 2003, an annual magazine featuring fashion, food, lifestyle, culture, and travel. Oh, yeah, and he has a little bit of polo in there. They just unveiled their 2015 issue at halftime. We were on the opposite side of the field, so we couldn't bring that to you, but look for it in your newsstands, and if you are a subscriber to that should be in your mailbox very shortly. So they have plans for expansion to other hotspots around the country, so a Hawaii Polo Life magazine could be coming to an address nearest to you. Really, the star of the game was the 53-year-old Argentinian Juan Bolini. Bolini coming up with 3 goals in the second half, and some of them were of the very difficult variety as he cut the angle hard on the left side and drove home that. And the other ones were kind of just like really easy tap-ins as Ganzi misses that. Looks like Dawson missed that, and then Bolini, playing in the number 4 position, just comes in and cleans up and taps it in right between the posts. 7-3 is our final here. Sun setting on the leeward side, that is on the other side of this mountain range. We're on the windward side, so we're looking towards the southeast end of the island of Oahu. So let's take a look at Bellini's first goal in the fourth chukker, a chukker that saw him score 3 goals, his team come up with 5 unanswered. And as you see right there, it bounced off the post. And it's as they come around, everybody has to clear out, and Juan has the right of way, and he easily knocks it in for one of his 3 goals on the afternoon. Still waiting for our star of the match to be in position as you look at the, well, one of the beautiful sunsets that we have here in Honolulu. Actually, if you are on the other side, which is the Honolulu side of this mountain range, you would be looking at the sunset there on Waikiki Beach, and to the west on the leeward side on the Waianae coast. Let's take a look at another highlight of this game. Herman DeCoit from the Maui Polo Club. He's got 2 goals in this game, and this was one of them. This was a beaut. This was a backhanded shot, and he was in position to take it down, and a great backhanded shot on the near side, and that had enough juice to make it in between the goal, and another goal for Team Porsche. And he led that attack along with our star of the game, and Soireē has him courtside.
So we're here with world-famous polo player Juan Bellini, who scored many of the last goals in this final chukker. Juan, can you tell us a little bit about the game and the highlights for you?
The game was very tough, very close. I mean, 2 very good teams, very even. And in the last chukker, we had tried to play more loose and more from the back. I was studying the positive, and then I decided to pull back a bit and come from behind and keep passing the ball to Melissa and my teammates. So I think the strategy in the last couple of chukkers were pretty good.
And so you and Melissa play quite often as well together?
Yes, we do. We played many years before we started. A long time ago, we won so many tournaments, 20 goals, 16 goals. And we used to also play with Mark. And now playing with Mark and Lisa kids or my kids. So basically it's like a family team. Sometimes we keep around and switch teams around. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, polo is a family sport in a lot of families, and we love it here too on the islands. Can you tell us your favorite part about this Hawaii trip?
That you put me in a very hard spot because I think everything is wonderful. So I don't want to leave something alone. I mean, every single person we met, every single place that we went to is beautiful. I mean, it's an unbelievable place. I'm very happy to be here, and I hope we can come back for the next couple of years.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and back to you up there, Russ.
Thank you, Soireē, and thank you, Juan Bellini. A hat trick for Bellini. 2 goals for Herman DeCoit from Maui, and Chris Dawson also poured in 2 goals for Team Porsche. Your final from here at Waimanalo, Porsche 7, Mercedes-Benz 3. We've had a fun time here at the Honolulu Polo Club, nestled at the base of the beautiful and majestic Ko'olau mountain range. We had just a great time, all by all. We'd like to thank our production crew from Carrillo Digital, our director, Kevin Luke, our producer, Scott Coberson, and for my partner, Soireē Matherson, I'm Russell Shimoka saying thanks for joining us. And as we say here in the Aloha State, aloha, everyone. We'll see you next time. This event is brought to you by the Hawaii International Polo Association, Hawaii Polo Life Magazine, the Howard Hughes Ward Village, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche,